I will activate your mind to manifest money. Ladies and gentlemen, today I will guide you to activate the power within you to manifest money. This power is not of this world. It is the divine creative gift you were given by God himself. As it is written, I have come that they may have life, then have it to the full. John 10. 10. You are not meant to live in lack. You are meant to live abundantly, as the Creator himself is abundant beyond measure. Imagination is creation. All creation begins within you, within your imagination. Look closely at your mind's eye. What image of yourself do you see? Is it an image of struggle or an image of abundance? The Bible tells us, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Your inner thoughts and feelings dictate your outer world. Now I ask you, what do you see when you think of money? Do you see it as scarce, far from you, or do you see it flowing effortlessly into your life? Your imagination, when aligned with faith, is the very tool through which God creates. So use it wisely. Assume the feeling of wealth. To manifest money, you must feel yourself as already wealthy. Feel the joy, the peace, and the security of having the money you desire. Let the energy of wealth course through you. Imagine right now that your hands are holding it. Feel the crisp bills in your palm. How does it feel to know that your needs are met, that your family is secure, and that your life is abundant? This is no fantasy, this is prayer in its truest form. Because when you assume this feeling as real, you activate the unseen laws of God to bring it to pass. Thoughts become things. As Jesus said in Mark 11:24, whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you have received it, and it will be yours. Faith is the bridge between your desire and its fulfillment. But here is the secret: you do not wait to see it before you believe it. You believe it into existence. Right now, I challenge you to declare, I am wealthy. Money flows to me effortlessly. God has blessed me beyond measure. Say it, not as a wish, but as a truth already fulfilled. Your thoughts become things because God has already given you dominion over creation. Gratitude unlocks abundance. Gratitude is the vibration of abundance. When you thank God for what you have, even before it appears, you open the floodgates for more. As you give thanks for the wealth you see in your mind's eye, you are aligning yourself with God's promises. Say to yourself now, thank you, Father, for the wealth you have provided. Thank you for the opportunities that flow to me. Thank you for the blessings I cannot yet see but know are on their way. Gratitude shifts your focus from lack to plenty, and where your focus goes, so flows your reality. Live from the end. Finally, act as if your prayers have already been answered. Do not wish and do not hope. Live from the end. If you had the money you desire, how would you walk? How would you speak? How would you feel? Begin living as that person today. This is not pretending, it is faith. The Bible reminds us in Romans 4:17 that God calls those things which do not exist as though they did. You are made in his image. Therefore, call forth wealth as though it already exists. Act in the consciousness of already having, and it must appear. My friend, I have activated your mind today to see yourself as wealthy, abundant, and blessed. The moment you choose to live in this state consistently and faithfully, you will see money flow into your life. It is not a question of if, but when. For God himself has said, all things are possible to him who believes. Now go forth and believe. Ladies and gentlemen, it is with great purpose that I stand before you today to reveal the profound power that exists within you, the power to manifest the money you desire and deserve. You are not a victim of circumstance. You are not at the mercy of the world outside you. The truth is, you have been gifted a divine ability to shape your reality. This power lies not in the physical, but in the unseen, the realm of your mind and imagination. It is there, in the secret place, that creation begins. As it is written, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. This statement is not mere poetry, it is law. You become what you contemplate in the stillness of your mind. Your life in all its details is a reflection of the thoughts and feelings you dwell upon. If your thoughts are filled with lack, with worry, with fear of poverty, your world will mirror that lack. But if your thoughts are filled with abundance, gratitude, and the confident expectation of wealth, your world will align itself with this abundance. There is no mystery here. What you think, you become. What you feel, you attract. I think of yourself as the creator of your reality, for that is what you are. God has said, "Let us make man in our image after our likeness." What does this mean? It means you have been given the ability to imagine, to think, and to feel, and in so doing, to create. Creation is not reserved for the divine alone. You are a co-creator with him. Look at the world around you. Every building, every invention, every advancement began as a thought. An idea held in the mind of one who dared to believe it could be so. Now I ask you, what thoughts are you holding? When you think of money, what images arise in your mind? Do you see it as scarce, hard to come by, always slipping through your fingers? Or do you see it flowing to you with ease, surrounding you, providing for you richly? Understand that your imagination is not idle. It is the workshop of creation. When you hold an image in your mind infused with feeling, you are setting a cause into motion. The unseen forces of creation begin their work, shaping your outer world to reflect the image you have impressed upon it. If you desire money, you must begin by seeing yourself as already wealthy. Close your eyes and imagine it now. Do not look to the future. Do not see wealth as something you will one day have. Instead, see yourself as already possessing it. Picture yourself holding the money in your hands. Feel its weight, its texture. Imagine the joy and freedom it brings. How do you feel knowing that your needs are met, that your family is secure, that you are able to live without worry? Let this feeling flood your being. It is not enough to think it. You must feel it as real. For it is the feeling that creates. Scripture tells us, whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you have received it, and it will be yours. Notice the words, believe that you have received it. Not believe that you will receive it someday, but that you have received it already. Faith operates in the present moment. It does not wait for evidence to appear. It creates the evidence. The moment you believe, the unseen begins to take shape, and the thing you desire must come to pass. I invite you now to test this truth for yourself. Begin to live as though your desire for wealth has already been fulfilled. Do not wait for your circumstances to change. Change your mind first. Walk with the confidence of someone who is already wealthy. Speak with the authority of someone whose prayers have already been answered. When you feel doubt creeping in, remind yourself of this unshakable truth: it shall be done for you as you have believed. Consider for a moment the power of gratitude. Gratitude is not a passive emotion. It is an active force that multiplies blessings in your life. When you give thanks for what you have, even before it appears, you are aligning yourself with abundance. You are demonstrating faith. Imagine a farmer who sows seeds in the earth. He does not doubt whether they will grow. He trusts the process. He waters them, he nurtures them, and he gives thanks in advance for the harvest he knows is coming. So too must you give thanks for the wealth you have imagined. Speak it now. Thank you, Father, for the abundance that flows into my life. Thank you for the opportunities you have provided. Thank you for the blessings I see and those yet unseen. Gratitude shifts your focus from lack to plenty. It reminds you that there is no limit to God's provision. As you give thanks, you are opening the door for more. When you live in this state of thanksgiving, wealth cannot help but flow to you, for you have aligned yourself with the law of abundance. And now I ask you to consider one final truth. To manifest the money you desire, you must live from the end. What does this mean? It means you do not hope or wish for wealth. You live as though you already have it. You think, feel, and act as the person you wish to become. If you were already wealthy, how would you carry yourself? How would you speak? How would you think about money? Begin to embody these qualities now. Do not wait. As you live from the end, your outer world will reflect your inner state. This is not pretense, it is faith. Faith calls things that are not as though they are. Faith sees the invisible and believes in the impossible. And it is faith that moves mountains. Jesus said, if you have faith as small as a mustard seed, you can say to this mountain, move from here to there, and it will move. Nothing will be impossible for you. The mountains in your life, be they lack, debt, or limitation, will move the moment you believe they must. So I leave you with this. The power to manifest money is already within you. It is not something you must earn or strive for. It is a gift you have been given. Use it wisely. Think thoughts of abundance. Feel the joy of already possessing what you desire. Give thanks for it as though it is already yours. Live from the end and trust that God's promises are true. You are not powerless. You are not a victim of circumstance. You are a creator endowed with the ability to shape your reality. Begin now to see yourself as wealthy, as abundant, as richly blessed. Hold this image in your mind. Feel it in your heart. Believe that it is already done, and it must come to pass. For as you think in your heart, so shall you be. Ladies and gentlemen, the secret to transforming your life and manifesting the wealth you desire lies not in effort or striving, but in your ability to assume the feeling of already having what you seek. The feeling of wealth is the very foundation upon which abundance is built, for it is written, whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you have received it, and it will be yours. These words are not metaphorical. They are a divine law that works for all who understand them. When you assume the feeling of the thing you desire, when you feel as though your prayer has already been answered, you align yourself with the unseen forces of creation, and that which is invisible begins to take form in your life. You must understand that feeling is the secret. It is not enough to wish for wealth or to hope that someday it might come to you. Wishing and hoping only affirm that you do not yet have it. Instead, you must feel as though you already possess the money you desire. Faith operates in the present tense, not the future. You must act as if the wealth you seek has already been delivered to you, for when you assume the feeling of wealth, you become one with it, and it must manifest in your world. Imagine now that you have already received what you have asked for. Do not look to the future for its fulfillment. Imagine it as already done. How would you feel if you were already wealthy? How would you carry yourself? How would you speak? What thoughts would occupy your mind? Let these questions guide you, for the answers will point you toward the state of being that brings wealth into your life. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine holding the money you desire. Feel its weight in your hands, its texture beneath your fingertips. Hear the soft rustle of the bills as you count them. Imagine looking at your bank account and seeing a balance that exceeds all your needs. How does it feel to know that you are provided for, that you are secure, that the life you have always dreamed of is now your reality? As you allow yourself to sink into this feeling, notice how your body begins to respond. A calm assurance fills your heart. A sense of peace settles over you, for you know that what you have imagined is already yours. This is not fantasy. This is creation in its purest form. God has given you the ability to feel as though your desire has already been fulfilled, and in doing so, you activate the unseen forces that bring it to pass. The world will tell you that you must strive, that you must work harder, that you must struggle to earn the wealth you desire. But I tell you that the key to abundance is not struggle, it is alignment. It is assuming the state of already having, already being, already possessing. When you assume this state and allow yourself to feel it fully, your mind begins to shift, and your outer world must follow. You cannot hold the feeling of wealth and continue to experience lack, for your outer world is but a reflection of your inner state. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. If you think thoughts of wealth and abundance, and if you feel as though you already possess what you desire, you will draw it into your life. The law of creation is unchanging and impartial. It does not question whether you are worthy or unworthy. It simply reflects back to you the state that you assume. If you assume the feeling of lack, lack will appear in your life. If you assume the feeling of wealth, wealth will flow to you effortlessly. Let us now test this truth together. Right where you are, I invite you to close your eyes and enter into the state of already having. Think of a sum of money that will transform your life. Do not limit yourself. God's abundance knows no bounds. Now see yourself receiving that money. Perhaps it comes as a gift, an unexpected windfall, or an opportunity that has been placed before you. Feel the joy and excitement that rise within you as you realize your prayer has been answered. Picture yourself sharing the news with loved ones. Hear their words of happiness and celebration. Feel the relief of knowing that all your needs are met, that you are free to live as you were meant to live, abundantly, joyfully, without fear. Hold this feeling. Do not let it slip away. For as you hold the feeling of already having, you are planting a seed in the soil of creation. It may not appear immediately, just as a seed does not sprout the moment it is planted, but rest assured that the process has begun. As you nurture this feeling, as you return to it again and again, it will grow into a reality that you can touch, see, and experience. The harvest is certain, for God has said, if you have faith as small as a mustard seed, you can say to this mountain, move from here to there, and it will move. Nothing will be impossible for you. Faith is the bridge between your desire and its fulfillment. But faith is not passive, it is an active, living thing. Faith requires you to act as though what you seek is already yours. If you were already wealthy, would you worry about tomorrow? Would you speak words of lack and limitation? Or would you walk in confidence, speak words of gratitude, and expect even greater blessings to flow into your life? Begin now to live as the person you wish to become. Speak as though your wealth has already arrived. Think thoughts of abundance. Feel the joy of already having. As you do this, you will find that opportunities begin to appear. Doors will open where there were none before. People will be drawn to you, and circumstances will conspire to bring you the wealth you seek. This is not coincidence, it is the law of creation in action. What you assume as true and what you feel as real must appear in your world. There is no other way. God's promises are sure, and his word cannot return void. Trust in this process. Do not waver in your faith, even when the evidence of your senses seems to contradict your desire. The world of the senses is but a shadow of the unseen, and what you hold in the unseen will soon be made visible. Each day, take a moment to return to this feeling. Before you rise in the morning and before you sleep at night, assume the feeling of already being wealthy. Let it fill your heart, your mind, and your body. Live in this state, for it is the state that creates. Do not concern yourself with how the money will come. That is not your task. Your task is simply to believe, to assume, and to feel. The ways and means will take care of themselves. As you hold the feeling of wealth, you will be guided to take inspired actions, and those actions will lead you to the fulfillment of your desire. Ladies and gentlemen, the key to manifesting the wealth you desire is simple. Assume the feeling of already having it. Feel it as real. Live in the state of fulfillment, and the wealth you seek will flow to you in ways you cannot yet imagine. For as you think in your heart, so shall you be. Ladies and gentlemen, I invite you today to awaken to a truth so profound and yet so simple. If you wish to see your desires fulfilled, you must live from the end. To live from the end is to dwell in the state of your wish already being realized. It is to assume that the thing you seek has already been accomplished. This is not wishful thinking, nor is it fantasy. It is the divine principle of creation, for God himself calls those things which do not exist as though they did. You too have been given the ability to do this, for you are made in his image. You are not a passive observer in life, you are a creator. You are not here to react to the world around you, but to shape it through the power of your imagination and your faith. Everything in this world begins as an idea, something unseen, intangible, and yet alive within the mind of its creator. Your desires are no different. They are the seeds of future realities, waiting to be brought forth by your ability to see them as already fulfilled. To live from the end is to water these seeds with faith, to nurture them with feeling, and to trust that they will bloom in their appointed time. Consider the farmer who sows his crops. He does not dig up the soil each day to see if the seeds are growing. He knows they will. He lives from the end, seeing the harvest in his mind before it appears. So must you live. If you desire wealth, health, or joy, do not wait for the evidence of these things to appear before you feel their reality. Assume now that you already possess them. Let your thoughts, your words, and your actions reflect the person you would be if your desires were already fulfilled. To live from the end, you must first see clearly the life you wish to experience. What do you truly desire? Be specific. If it is wealth you seek, do not merely hope for it, define it. How much do you desire? What would you do with it? How would your life look? Hold this image in your mind as though it were already true. The clearer the image, the more power it holds, for creation begins with clarity of vision. See yourself living the life you desire. Imagine the details, the home you live in, the car you drive, the freedom you feel knowing that all your needs are met. Allow this image to fill your mind and take root in your heart. But vision alone is not enough. You must go beyond seeing, you must feel. Feeling is the secret that brings the unseen into the seen. How would it feel to live in the end? If you already possess the thing you desire, what emotions would you experience? Would you feel joy, peace, gratitude, or relief? Let those feelings watch over you as though your desire had already come to pass. It is not enough to see yourself wealthy. You must feel the security and abundance that wealth brings. It is not enough to imagine yourself healthy. You must feel the vitality and strength that health offers. The mind cannot distinguish between what is real and what is imagined if you feel it deeply enough. This is the great key to living from the end. When you assume the state of already having, you impress that reality upon the very fabric of creation, and the outer world must conform to it. This is the divine law in action. As it is written, it shall be done for you as you have believed. Notice the words, it is not as you will believe or as you hope to believe, but as you have believed. Your belief must be a present reality, not a future expectation. Let's test this for yourself. If you were already living the life you desire, how would you behave? How would you think, speak, and act? Would you worry about tomorrow? Would you complain about the things you lack? No, you would move with confidence, speak with gratitude, and act with assurance, for you would know that all is well. Begin now to live in this way. Think, speak, and act as the person you wish to become, as though you are already living the reality you desire. When you do this, you are living from the end, and the world around you will begin to reflect the state you have assumed. Let me remind you that the world of the senses is but a shadow of the unseen. If you allow the evidence of your senses to dictate your state of mind, you will remain bound to your current circumstances. But when you refuse to be swayed by what your eyes see or your ears hear, when you hold steadfastly to the reality you have assumed, you will discover the truth that faith does indeed move mountains. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. It is the unwavering belief in the reality of your desire, even before it appears in the physical world. Do not concern yourself with how your desire will come to pass. The how is not your task, it belongs to the divine. Your task is to live from the end, to hold the feeling of already having, and to trust that all will unfold perfectly in its time. When you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you will be led, often unconsciously, to take the actions that bring it to fruition. Doors will open, opportunities will arise, and people will come into your life in ways you could not have planned. This is not coincidence, it is the outworking of the state you have assumed. Understand that living from the end is not a one-time exercise, it is a way of being. Each day, return to the state of your wish fulfilled. Before you rise in the morning and before you sleep at night, take a moment to dwell in the feeling of already having what you desire. See it clearly in your mind, feel it in your heart, and let it become your reality. If doubt arises, do not fight it. Simply return to the feeling of your desire already being fulfilled. As you persist in this state, the outer world will begin to change. It cannot remain the same, for the outer world is but a reflection of the inner. Hold fast to the state you have assumed, and do not allow the evidence of the senses to shake your faith. Remember the words, whatever you ask for in prayer. Believe that you have received it, and it will be yours when you live from the end. You are declaring that you have already received, and the world must respond to that declaration. Ladies and gentlemen, you are the operant power in your life. You have been given the ability to choose the state in which you dwell, and the state you dwell in determines the life you live. Choose now to live from the end. Assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Let it fill your mind, your heart, and your being. Trust that the unseen is more real than the seen, and that what you hold in the silence of your imagination will soon take form in the world around you. For as you think in your heart, so shall you be. Ladies and gentlemen, there is a truth so profound that it transcends all circumstances, all conditions, and all limitations, the power of gratitude. Gratitude is not merely an act of politeness or a response to blessings received. It is a creative force that unlocks the abundance of heaven and brings it into your life. It is written, "In everything give thanks, for this is God's will for you." Gratitude is not only an acknowledgement of what you have already received, but an expression of faith in what is yet unseen. It is the bridge between where you are and where you desire to be. Gratitude begins with an understanding of who you truly are, a creator endowed with divine power. You are not here to be a victim of life or circumstance, but to direct and shape your world through your inner state. The outer world is a reflection of your thoughts, feelings, and assumptions, and gratitude is the key to transforming that reflection. When you choose to give thanks, regardless of what appears before you, you are declaring to the universe that you are already in possession of your desires. This is the essence of faith, to give thanks before the blessing appears, knowing that it is already yours. The world will tell you to be grateful only for what you can see, touch, or measure. But I tell you that the greatest power of gratitude lies in giving thanks for that which is not yet visible. Do you desire wealth? Give thanks now as though the wealth has already come. Do you desire health? Feel gratitude now for the vitality that is already yours. Do you desire freedom, joy, or love? Let gratitude flood your heart as though those desires have already been fulfilled. This is not pretending, it is the truest act of creation. For when you give thanks, you affirm that what you seek already exists. There is no greater demonstration of faith than gratitude. When you give thanks in advance, you are aligning yourself with the reality of your desire. You are no longer hoping or wishing, you are knowing. Gratitude elevates your state of being and shifts your focus from lack to abundance, from what is missing to what is already yours. And as you focus on abundance, abundance must flow into your life, for you are governed by the law of creation. To the one who has, more will be given, and he will have an abundance. The mind cannot hold two opposing states at once. You cannot be grateful and lacking at the same time. You cannot be grateful and fearful. Gratitude displaces all doubt, fear, and limitation, for it brings you into the consciousness of already having. It lifts you out of the darkness of not enough and into the light of fulfillment. When you live in gratitude, you are living in the end, and the end will be made manifest in your life. Think now of the life you desire to live. Let the image of it fill your mind. See yourself surrounded by the wealth, health, and joy you long for. Feel the reality of it, as though it were already true. And now give thanks. Feel the gratitude rise up in you like a wave, filling your heart with peace and your mind with confidence. Give thanks for the money you have received, for the opportunities that have appeared, for the health and happiness that are yours. Do not allow your senses to dictate your gratitude. Give thanks now before the evidence appears, for this is the secret of creation. When the blind man was brought before him, he did not see blindness, he saw the man as he ought to be, whole and perfect. And he gave thanks, saying, "Father, I thank you that you have heard me." He gave thanks before the miracle appeared, for he knew that the unseen reality was already accomplished. You, too, must give thanks as though your desire is already fulfilled. Look not at what is lacking, but at what is already done in the unseen. Live in the certainty that your prayer has been heard and that your desire is on its way to you. Each day begin and end with gratitude. When you rise in the morning, give thanks for the day ahead, knowing that it is filled with blessings. Give thanks for the opportunities that will come, the doors that will open, and the abundance that will flow into your life. When you lay your head down at night, reflect on the day with gratitude, not only for what has appeared, but for what is on its way. Let your heart be filled with thanksgiving for the unseen gifts that are already yours. As you practice this, you will discover a great truth. Gratitude is not dependent on conditions, it creates conditions. You do not need to know how your desires will come to pass. The ways and means are not yours to decide. Your task is to give thanks, to hold the state of already having, and to trust that the unseen will become seen. When you persist in gratitude, circumstances will rearrange themselves in ways you cannot yet imagine. The money you need will appear, the opportunity you seek will come, and the life you desire will unfold. This is not coincidence, it is the outworking of divine law. Gratitude aligns you with the source of all abundance. When you give thanks, you open yourself to receive more. You cannot receive with clenched hands or a closed heart, but when you give thanks, you open yourself fully to the blessings that are already yours. As you give thanks, more will be given to you, for you are affirming that you are in possession of all that you need. This is the great paradox of life. To him who has, more will be given. The grateful heart is never empty, for it is always full. Do not wait for circumstances to change before you give thanks. Give thanks now, right where you are, and you will see your world transform. Let gratitude become your way of being, your constant companion. In every moment, give thanks for what you have, for what you desire, and for what is yet to come. When you live in gratitude, you live in the certainty of already having, and the world must conform to the state you have assumed. Ladies and gentlemen, I ask you now to test this for yourselves. Begin right where you are to give thanks. Give thanks for the breath in your lungs, for the ground beneath your feet, and for the life that flows through you. Give thanks for the desires that have been placed in your heart, knowing that they are the seeds of future realities. And give thanks for the fulfillment of those desires, as though they have already come to pass. Let gratitude flood your being. Let it fill every corner of your heart and mind. For when you live in gratitude, you are living in faith. And faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Hold fast to this truth. What you give thanks for, you will receive. Live each day in gratitude, and you will discover the abundance, joy, and fulfillment that have always been yours. For to him who has more will be given, and he will have an abundance. Ladies and gentlemen, the greatest truth you must come to understand is that your imagination is the instrument of creation. It is not idle fantasy, it is the divine power within you that shapes your world. As it is written, whatsoever things you desire, when you pray, believe that you receive them, and you shall have them. The act of imagining is the act of prayer, for in imagination you enter the state of your wish fulfilled. Imagination is the bridge between the invisible and the visible, the unseen and the seen. All things are created first in the mind, and only then do they manifest in the world of form. Every invention, every building, every work of art, and every fortune began as an idea, an image held in the mind of its creator. Before the world could see it, someone saw it in imagination. This is the power that has been entrusted to you. You are called to imagine the life you desire and to persist in that image until it becomes reality. There is no power in heaven or on earth that can resist the persistent imagination of one who believes. To imagine is to see beyond the evidence of your senses. It is to close your eyes to what is and open your mind to what can be. Your senses may tell you that you are poor, that you lack opportunities, that your life is filled with limitation. But imagination knows no such boundaries. In your imagination, you can be, do, and have all that you desire. You can feel the joy of wealth, the comfort of health, and the freedom of abundance, even while the world around you appears unchanged. The key to unlocking this power lies in your ability to live in the end. Do not merely imagine what you desire as though it were far off or unattainable. Instead, assume that it is already yours. See yourself living the life you wish to live. Feel the emotions you would feel if your desire were already fulfilled. Act as though you have already received it, for imagination you already have. When you imagine with faith, you are not creating something new. You are calling forth that which already exists in the unseen. It is written, God calls those things which do not exist as though they did. You too must call the unseen into being by living in the assumption that your desire is already accomplished. Speak of it as though it were done. Think from the state of already having, not from the state of wanting. Wanting implies lack, having implies fulfillment. The world responds not to your wishes but to your assumptions. What you assume to be true, even if seen, will harden into fact. You may wonder how this can be true when your senses tell you otherwise. The answer is simple. Imagination is the creator of reality. The outer world is but a reflection of the inner world. If you wish to change your life, you must first change the images you hold in your mind. Imagine yourself as the person you wish to become, and persist in that image until it feels natural. The moment it feels real to you, it will begin to appear in your world. Let me remind you that imagining is not daydreaming. Daydreaming is passive, imagination is active. Daydreaming sees the desire as a distant possibility. Imagination assumes it as a present reality. When you imagine effectively, you do not hope or wish you know. You know that what you have imagined is already yours, and you carry yourself with the confidence of one who possesses. If you desire wealth, do not imagine yourself as someone who wants money. Imagine yourself as one who already has it. See the life you would live if wealth were your reality. How would you spend your days? What would you do with your time? Feel the freedom, the security, and the joy that wealth would bring. Let those feelings flood your being, and hold them as though they are already true. If you desire health, do not dwell on illness or lack. Instead, imagine yourself full of vitality and strength. See yourself walking with confidence, feeling the energy flow through your body. Feel the joy of perfect health as though it is already yours. Do not concern yourself with how it will come to pass. The how is not your responsibility. Your task is to assume the state of already having and to persist in that state. Imagination works in the silence of your mind. It does not require effort or struggle. It requires faith and persistence. Each night before you sleep, enter into the state of your wish fulfilled. Close your eyes and allow the images of your desire to fill your mind. See yourself living in the reality you wish to create. Feel the joy, the peace, and the gratitude as though it were already done. Let this be the last thought before you drift into sleep, for the state you occupy as you sleep will impress itself upon your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind does not question or doubt. It simply accepts as true what you persistently imagine. It is the soil into which the seed of your imagination is planted, and it will bring forth whatever you sow. If you sow images of lack, fear, or limitation, you will reap a life of struggle. But if you sow images of abundance, joy, and fulfillment, you will reap a life of blessings. Catch this for yourself. Choose a simple desire, something small but meaningful, and imagine it as though it were already fulfilled. See it clearly in your mind. Feel the reality of it as though it has already come to pass. Persist in this image regardless of what the outer world may show you. You will soon discover that what you imagine with faith will begin to appear in your life. Do not waver in your imagination. The moment you doubt or question, you undo the work you have begun. Hold fast to the image of your desire, and let no circumstance or appearance shake your faith. It is written, "Let not him who doubts suppose that he will receive anything." Doubt is the enemy of creation, for it denies the reality of the unseen. Faith is the substance of creation, for it affirms that what you have imagined is already yours. Remember always that your imagination is the power of God within you. It is through imagination that all things are made, and it is through imagination that you will bring forth the life you desire. Do not look to the world to tell you what is possible. Look within. In imagination, all things are possible, for there is no limit to what you can create. You are the operant power in your life. No one else can imagine for you, and no one else can create your world. The responsibility is yours alone. Use this power wisely. Imagine the best for yourself and for others. Lift your mind above the evidence of the senses and dwell in the reality of your desires already fulfilled. Persist in this state and you will discover the truth that imagination creates reality. Ladies and gentlemen, I leave you with this: what you imagine, you become. What you feel is real in your imagination will soon be made visible in your life. Close your eyes to the world of appearances and open your mind to the world of possibility. Live each day in the joyful assumption that your desires are already fulfilled, and you will see the evidence of your imagination take form in the world around you. For as it is written, according to your faith, let it be done to you. Ladies and gentlemen, as we come to the end of this profound truth, let us reflect on the boundless power that lies within you, the power of your imagination. You are not a bystander in life, you are the creator of your reality. The world you experience is the direct result of the images you hold, the assumptions you accept as true, and the states in which you dwell. Through imagination, you possess the ability to transform every aspect of your life, for imagination is the tool through which unseen desires become visible realities. It is written, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. What you think, feel, and assume to be true shapes the world around you, for the outer is always a reflection of the inner. The life you desire is not a distant dream, but a reality waiting to be realized through your faith, persistence, and imagination. You are not bound by circumstances, conditions, or appearances. You are not subject to the limitations imposed by the world. You are free to imagine, to create, and to assume the life you desire, knowing that your imagination is the seed of all creation. If you wish to change your life, you must begin by changing your inner world. No circumstance is so fixed that it cannot be altered. No condition is so great that it cannot be overcome. You are endowed with the divine power of imagination, and when you use this power with faith and persistence, nothing is impossible to you. Understand this truth deeply. The life you live tomorrow depends on the state of being you occupy today. If you persist in imagining yourself as healthy, wealthy, joyful, and fulfilled, your world will conform to that assumption. It may not happen overnight, but it will happen, for the law of creation is unchanging and absolute. Live each day as though your desires are already fulfilled. See them, feel them, claim them as your own. For what you persistently imagine with faith will harden into fact. Remember, imagination is not wishful thinking. It is the conscious assumption of your desire already fulfilled. It is the act of living in the end, of feeling as though you already possess that which you seek. This is the secret of creation. As you persist in this state, your imagination will shape and mold the circumstances of your life to reflect the reality you have claimed. Never allow doubt, fear, or appearances to rob you of your creative power. Hold fast to your vision, no matter how impossible it may seem to the world. The circumstances of today are merely the result of yesterday's imagination, and they hold no power over what you can create now. Begin this very moment to imagine the life you desire. See it clearly, feel it deeply, and assume it as your reality. Let the images of your fulfilled desires fill your mind day and night, until they become as natural to you as your current reality. You are the operant power. You hold the key to your freedom, your success, and your joy. Use your imagination to create the life you desire. Live in the end, persist in the assumption, and trust that the unseen will be made seen. As it is written, all things are possible to him who believes. Believe in the reality of your imagination, and you will discover that nothing is beyond your reach. Ladies and gentlemen, the power is yours. Imagine wisely, persist faithfully, and live boldly, for what you imagine you will become. Your desires are not fantasies, they are seeds of a future reality waiting to be brought forth. Take hold of this truth, embrace the power within you, and let the world around you reflect the glory of what you have imagined. For as you believe, so shall it be done to you.